Hello, I'm Dan Ramey, contributing editor to Internal Auditor magazine's Fraud Department and president and founder of Houston Financial Forensics. I am pleased to introduce this episode of Fraud on the All Things Internal Audit podcast, which provides fictionalized accounts of fraud based on actual events.
The Out-of-Control Controller. Part 1. A Swipe Too Far. It was supposed to be a routine follow-up. Bruce Kraus, lead partner for the external audit team at Allied Engineering, had just wrapped up his firm's field work when the company's CFO gave him a call. But it wasn't about the audit. The CFO sounded tense. He explained that Controller Jane Simmons had allegedly racked up $15,000 in unauthorized personal expenses on her corporate American Express card. Kraus was surprised. Allied only issued cards to 4 executives, and Simmons was one of them. Each month, Simmons personally brought the CFO a check to pay off the company's credit card bill, and each month, he signed it without reviewing the accompanying statement. That lax oversight became a major problem. A staff accountant, scanning receipts into the company's document management system, spotted some unusual charges. When he flagged the issue to the vice president of engineering, the two launched a quiet review. The charges weren't just questionable, they were personal. They brought their findings to the CEO. Simmons was questioned and immediately admitted to the theft. She was fired and escorted off the premises. But that was just the beginning. Part 2. A Wiped Drive and a Widening Scope. Kraus and his forensic team moved quickly. Their initial focus was the corporate credit cards, where they confirmed that Simmons had used the company account for personal meals, gas, flights for family members, and various other unauthorized expenses. But soon, the red flags started piling up. It wasn't a one-off scheme. This had been going on for years and likely involved multiple methods of embezzlement. To complicate things further, Simmons had been allowed to take her laptop home after her termination, claiming it contained personal files. When she returned it 2 weeks later, the hard drive had been wiped clean. Investigators lost access to emails, files, and digital records that might have further clarified the extent of her activities. Even so, they pressed on. The deeper they dug, the more they uncovered. Simmons had stolen approximately $250,000 over a 5-year period using 11 different schemes. 4 of them stood out. Part 3. A Pattern of Deception. 1. The Gift Card Grab. Allied Engineering hosted 2 major family events each year. Attendees received $100 gift cards, and Simmons helped plan the events, including ordering the cards. But Kraus's team discovered she had quietly doubled the gift card order, keeping the extras for herself. Because she also handled the bank transactions and reconciliations, she was able to hide the discrepancy for years. 2. The Ghost on the Payroll. Simmons' 16-year-old daughter, Julie, worked a short clerical assignment. When she left to return to school, her record should have been terminated in the payroll system. It wasn't. Simmons simply switched the payment account to her own. For months, Simmons was getting paid through her daughter's ghost employment. No one noticed. 3. The bonus bump. After company events, Simmons sent handwritten bonus requests to the CEO, including herself among the planning committee. Once the CEO signed off, she discreetly altered the figures, doubling or tripling her bonus. Because the request process was entirely on paper, with no digital approval trail, the changes went unnoticed. 4. The company car caper. 2 years earlier, Allied had been preparing to auction a well-maintained company vehicle. Employees were excited to bid on it, but the Friday before the auction, Simmons simply drove it home and gave it to her daughter. Simmons controlled vehicle titles and insurance, so the theft went unchallenged. For nearly 2 years, the car remained in Allied's name, insured by the company, before Simmons quietly transferred the title to herself and sold the vehicle. The kicker? Nearly everyone at the company knew she had taken the car. Everyone except the CEO, CFO, and Vice President of Engineering. Part 4. Aftermath. Executives at Allied decided not to prosecute Simmons due to her 22-year tenure, but she was required to pay restitution for as much of the $250,000 as possible. Kraus reported that none of the individual schemes or the total losses reached the materiality threshold for the financial statements. Still, the reputational damage and internal control failures were glaring. Allied's experience reveals multiple critical control failures and how even long-trusted employees can exploit them.
This has been the All Things Internal Audit Fraud Podcast. Fictionalized accounts based on actual events, brought to you by the Institute of Internal Auditors. IIA members can access the full story in this month's issue of Internal Auditor magazine, including bonus materials on lessons learned. To read more, visit internalauditor.theiia.org. For more fraud-related resources, including guidance and thought leadership from the IIA and the ACFE, visit theiia.org/ACFE fraud.